So we've been talking a lot about Vanguard, but one thing that I have yet to be able to do until today is talk about gold camo in a fuller capacity. We talked about launchers a little bit ago, but I want to take some time today and break down some tips for every class of weapon and help you get gold on whatever you may be going for in as easy and as efficient a way as possible. So that said, as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. How many gold weapons do you have in Vanguard? Are you guys going for gold, diamond, and atomic camo this year? Is there any tip that you think that we may have missed that you would like to throw onto this list? Feel free to drop it down below in the comments. We can make this a communal hub for making your camo challenges even easier. But if you enjoy the video, if it helps you out at all, you find it insightful, do me a favor, drop a like on the video. Let's aim for 2,000 on this. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Vanguard, whether that be camo guides, whether that be updates and information, class setups, whatever the case. If you guys would like to stay up to date with anything Vanguard and join us on that road to 500,000 subscribers, I'd love to have you in the community. With nearly 70% of viewers not subscribed, if you guys are interested, feel free to. And finally, my friends over at G Fuel bumped up code Espresso to 30% off your entire order. So if you're looking for a restock or trying something out for the very first time, now's as best a time as any. Link in the description below if you guys are interested. But that said, let's talk about these camos. So this weird balance that I've had in terms of ranking up weapons, trying to grind all those out so that almost all of my weapons are max rank and fully kitted by the time the Warzone integration comes, and then also trying to get camos done at the same time because that's something I've always focused on. It's been a weird sort of back and forth between what my priority should be, but out of this, I've already completed a couple of gold weapons, and the grind will still continue. But as with every year, I wanted to put up a sort of ultimate guide to gold camo that can help you out in as best a way as possible to hopefully expedite your process of unlocking gold for whatever weapons you may end up wanting. So starting out with a general discussion of gold, I honestly think that this year is a relatively similar situation to last year with Black Ops Cold War, in which the biggest part of the grind truly just feels like the grind itself to rank up weapons. The bulk of just ranking up weapons is going to be the longest part. Weapon scaling is a thing this year in which how the XP is distributed. Your entire experience from weapon levels 1 to 30 is basically the same as what you'd also see between 61 and 70. So that scaling definitely makes it feel way longer in the long run, so it feels like it takes forever. Double weapon XP tokens help out greatly, but really, we need a double weapon XP event soon. I mean, we just got kicked off here starting today, a double battle pass event happening in the preseason with Vanguard for those that still need to complete the Season 6 battle pass for Warzone and Black Ops Cold War, but I'd definitely take the double weapon XP event over that. Though, for what it's worth, if you have unused Warzone tokens, those apparently are actually offering a boost, but it doesn't explicitly show it in Vanguard. But given that things are tethered cross-game already, i.e. you rank up in Vanguard, and it'll also progress your rank in Warzone, Cold War, and Modern Warfare, they're just not synced to one universal rank just yet. Those tokens also do the same, offering you that XP boost. So feel free to use those if you'd like, but for the best possible use of your time, especially if you have double weapon XP tokens active, I'd highly recommend DOS House right now, especially since there's that 24/7 playlist, and once shipment is added in, that will be another great option for getting as much XP for your weapons as possible. But when you jump into the challenges themselves, truthfully, there's a lot of straightforward and honestly rather simple challenges. Eliminations and headshots, just simply play with those weapons, you'll get them done. Probably by the time you even rank up the weapon fully, you'll have all of the eliminations necessary, all the headshots necessary. Multi-kills, that's something that, again, just play something with a larger player count and you'll knock those out in about 2 to 4 matches, because all it is double kills or more, so double, triple, quad, and fury kills and things like that, and the time between each kill in which it's sort of chained together is actually pretty generous. So if you're playing exclusively things like Blitz, DOS House, or something like that, you're going to get these in absolutely no time. 5 kills without dying, now that one's kind of up to you. If you feel like you can rush in and get 5 kills, go for it, but if not, more so play passively, but not necessarily camp. Play the outsides of maps, don't rush into where the action is. If there's a hard point, maybe stick to the outside, pick people off going into it. Play a little bit more methodically. Long range kills, honestly, actually, let me know if you guys would like to see a full guide on this. I've been working on a guide here for myself behind the scenes just so I know where I can go to knock all these out of nearly all applicable long shot locations. So if you guys would like to see that, I'd be happy to share if enough people are interested in that. But realistically, these depend on the class. These can be easily done in hardcore for close quarters weapons like SMGs and shotguns, but in core, things like Red Star, Demyansk, Desert Siege, these are golden maps for those long lines of sight with rifles, snipers, LMGs, and the like. Close range kills, these were actually recently changed from being point blank kills, so these actually are pretty generous right now. You don't get any kill indication of close range kill like you would previously with point blanks, but if you end up going again into those smaller maps like a dome, like a DOS house, you're going to end up seeing that you get these with relative ease in regards to just playing in that action. If you stick to the outside of the maps here with that, you might not, but if you're, say, challenging a hardpoint or a domination, that's going to give you credit towards those things like your rifles, like your LMGs. SMGs are a little bit more close quarters. They require, same thing with shotguns, but again, still very easy to do just by simply playing if you go into those smaller maps. But let's talk about those weapon-specific challenges, because not every single challenge after these is going to be the same for every single weapon. Each weapon category has a few certain subsets of their own challenges and what those will entail, with some being sort of crossovers into other weapons, some being specific to others. So without breaking down every single weapon, offering tips for those specific camo challenges, we'll break the categories down. First one I want to talk about is actually bullet penetration. That's one that I was just recently doing on the bar. This I have some first-hand experience as of just the last 24 to 36 hours. This one was kind of a pain, but really it's just more tedious than anything else. Maps like DOS House, Decoy, and to some degree maps like Dome, Eagle's Nest, Hotel Royal in the center, Numa, maps that have a lot of wood, plywood, or glass. These are great because there's an abundance of cover that you can end up shooting through, and that's where you end up needing to do this. To do it effectively, if you have a team, run UAVs. You'll get that real-time effect so you can pre-aim things through the wall if possible, and sometimes if you end up getting a double kill, it'll actually kind of cheese it where if you shoot through an enemy and get that kill as well, it will count as a wall bang or bullet penetration kill. But there also are just specific locations where you can kind of cheese them. One incredible location, though, is a great way to farm not only long shots, but also bullet penetration kills on DOS House, is that A domination spawn with the tires on the left side. You can end up putting your portable barricade up there, jumping up on top, and looking over top of those tires into the sort of oval rotunda, and then out into the seaside of the map. This is something that for bullet penetration kills, you want to make sure that you end up strafing over so you're shooting through the tires. Sometimes it will register, sometimes not, but it's a great way that gives you insane cover, but also allows you to complete those bullet penetration kills with relative ease because it's a high traffic area. Now, if you notice somebody on the enemy team doing this and you spawn that seaside, all you really have to do is just mount onto that plywood barrier just outside of spawn, and then you can pick them off, but it really comes down to who can snap on aim a little quicker. It's a tough 1v1, but definitely doable. I will say, man, this thing is an incredibly cheesy spot. I actually dropped to V2 during it. I've never felt dirtier, but while farming those bullet penetration kills, man, it's literally one of the best spots. Movement specific challenges, those that require you to get 100 kills while moving, those I just found strafing everything was the easiest here. Kit it out where applicable so you can have some movement speed, but obviously not taking away from those 3 attachments that you have to use. Kills while ADS, this goes for things like your rifles, snipers, and others. This really shouldn't be too hard. Naturally, that's what gives you the most accuracy and likely is how you probably got about 90% or more of your kills up until that point. It's just kind of annoying we have to do another 100 of those closer to the end of progressing that weapon. Long shots and headshots, again, kind of the same thing, just annoying that they have to make you do them again, and in some challenges it's actually just downright mean. Like the MP40 has a challenge with a build required that you're tasked with getting headshots using a barrel that removes headshot multipliers. So that's kind of an annoying one as well. Crouched or prone, if you're used to crouch spamming in a gunfight to throw off an enemy's aim, this will absolutely be no problem, but if not, it's just going to be a little bit more boring and tedious to slow down your game to do those kind of things. But double time can help you out here if you run that because it will give you that 30% crouch speed bonus, so you can really just crouch walk around the map. Kills without taking damage from an enemy, this isn't something where you can't take any damage in a gunfight, it just can't be from the player that you're ending up shooting. So if you're in a 1v2 situation, you end up dying or getting shot mid gunfight, but the other guy that you're actually targeting doesn't shoot you, you're totally fine. Holding your breath kills, those with snipers, that's again just as simple as clicking in your right stick and holding steady, or whatever you have it bound to on PC as well. A lot of sniping kills come naturally from that also. So really, a lot of these are pretty self-explanatory, pretty simple, but the trickier ones come down to the melees and the launchers. So jumping into those, the sliding kills, use lightweight here for this, and honestly, if you're doing things like the combat shield, I'd recommend hardcore. We'll come back to mentioning that again, but I'd recommend hardcore for the combat shield. basically the entire time. The FS fighting knife can absolutely be done in core. Kills while stunned or flashed, that's actually currently bugged. You need to be stunned for credit before this is fixed. So stun yourself, but make sure that you run survival training to be resistant to that movement penalty. And also consider Tactician to refill your stuns every 30 seconds so that you don't just get 1 or 2 kills and then have to kill yourself and start all over again. For double kills, again, the combat shield, you're very rarely going to get a double kill in core since it's a 2-hit. So use that in hardcore. It's possible in core for the knife, but the shield again will just be misery. Launchers, run engineer always. Halfway through my launchers now, it has been insanely easy because of that. I don't even think I'd be like halfway through one launcher if I didn't have engineer. But for your eliminations, again, these are the easiest to do. Those will just come in time, especially on DOS House and Shipment soon. Those I kind of actually save until the end. Ground streaks or field upgrades, use engineer and play on smaller maps. You'll get those supply boxes, those barricades, those field mics, all those done in no time. Also, use dogs and guard dogs to pad those numbers. Each dog that you take out ends up counting as 1. You don't need to take out the whole pack. So a guard dog will take a little bit more, but the regular dogs will be either 2 launchers, 2 melees, 1 launcher, 1 melee. But if you are meleeing, just make sure you're using it with that launcher out so it counts. Aerial streaks, it really comes down to lead time. Get the feeling right and you'll get these done in no time. They've been my first 2 completed for both launchers I've completed so far, believe it or not. But for the Panzerfaust, that RPG style launcher, that's the one that's going to be a pain. It's a 2-hit to UAVs or recons. So that's something that to start, you want to shoot with your regular gun to weaken it first and then launch it. And again, that just comes down to getting a feel for that lead, something that I'm still working on myself. The 3 streaks in a game, that will come over time. And again, unfortunately, this doesn't let you stack. So if your team is getting absolutely annihilated and you're like, okay, cool, I get to make some great progress to my launchers, you shoot down 6 things, it doesn't count as 2. It still only counts as 1. And for the Panzerfaust, keep an eye out for those dogs, guard dogs, flame knots, and things like that. It's so much easier to take those out on the ground and chain 3 of those together instead of Hail Marying 3 launchers at recons. Long shots for the Mark 11. I don't know that these are tracking just yet, but maps that are small but also larger by comparison to other small maps like Dome are great for this. Not saying like Shipment or things like that, but Dome is great because that's something with how sticky the spawns can be from side to side of the map. That's a long shot. So just take it and spray into their spawn and you should be good. You should start getting those once they start tracking properly. And then double and triple kills for the Mark 11. The Blitz objective modes are key. Patrol, Domination, Hardpoint, those will all come in time, but the larger player counts, the more number of players there are, and of course, by default, the more that will be on that objective. But overall, those are my tips here on how to complete every single bit of these maybe tougher challenge categories, and also how you can expedite your gold camo grind a little further, doing them as efficiently as possible. So let me know your thoughts down below. How many gold weapons do you have within Vanguard? Are you going for Diamond and Atomic this year? Maybe not so much. Whatever the case, let me know your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed the video, if it helped you out at all, you find it insightful at all, do me a favor, drop a like on the video. And of course, if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing regarding all things Vanguard. Class setups, guides for camos like this, information and updates, we got you covered on the channel. So if you're interested in any of that, hit that subscribe button. But if you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to chat with me outside of YouTube. So if you'd like to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever the case, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. Mine has been Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.